All right, class. So welcome everybody to day 9 of our web masterclass. This is module 3, and tonight we will be completing the module 3, and tomorrow we will start with module 4. In this module, we have learned about email service, about incoming and outgoing service. We've learned about 3 very popular and powerful protocols: SMTP, IMAP, and POP3. And today we want to learn how to configure email clients with these protocols and their port numbers. After that, we will look at third-party email providers like Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace to learn how businesses use these services to enhance their emails. If you are ready, let's get into the lesson. My first question to you is this: are all email addresses in the world at yahoo.com? In the early 2000s, everyone was using at yahoo.com or gmail.com. Today, a lot of people are having their emails at gmail.com. In Africa, over 90% of individuals have their emails at gmail.com. Is that all there is to emails? How do big companies and corporate bodies set up their own emails like customer care at mtn.com or info@dearcompany.com? Sometimes I take a business card from someone and the person's email address is michael@stanbicbank.com. How is that possible? How do they create that? This means email addresses are not all at gmail.com and at yahoo.com. For decades now, web hosting servers have also been serving as email servers. This means having a web hosting server gives you the infrastructure and the technology you need to have custom emails at your own domain.com, making it possible for website owners to create unlimited email addresses at their own domain.com. These email servers connect with other email servers around the world and transmit messages with their incoming server and outgoing server. These incoming and outgoing servers work with 3 popular protocols, namely POP3, IMAP, and SMTP. We also have email client software that are widely used across industry, such as Microsoft Outlook. Companies today rely on Outlook for their email transmissions. We also use webmail systems that allow us to access our emails over the web. Companies such as Microsoft and Google also provide third-party business email services such as Google Workspace and Microsoft 365. These services enhance the security of emails, provides cloud solutions, extra features, and extra tools to help businesses operate with all the tools they need to lead. These tools and these services are all designed and they all work together and are controlled and configured by the professionals we call webmasters. In this training, we are learning to become webmasters. A webmaster is an individual who has diverse skills in handling everything that pertains to the web. They are indeed webmasters. Their knowledge covers domains, emails, web hosting and servers, databases, coding in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and associated languages that make the web run. They are in charge of designing websites, maintaining websites, and ensuring that the web operates fully. As a webmaster, you will require diverse skills and experiences to be able to keep a company's services online. With extra training in cloud, you expand your knowledge and you know how to use AWS and Microsoft Azure to keep businesses operating fully on the web. Webmasters are highly resourceful people with diverse skills. And this training gives you the foundation to have all the necessary skills you need to build upon your career and be a tech professional. I am so excited to be part of this course. I'm so happy whenever I am in the middle of this course because it helps me help a lot of people kickstart their tech careers in the right direction. In a few months to come, you realize that the things that you have learned in this course have really prepared you for advancement in the world of tech. I have a quick message for you. After this message, we'll delve right into the lesson. This message is very simple, but so powerful. It says, don't quit, do it. Don't quit, do it. I like how don't quit can also tell you to do it. I like how impossible can also tell you that I am possible. That means hidden behind negativity is positivity. If you quit, you can't win. But if you don't quit and you do it, you will win. The cybersecurity program we are learning, we will not quit, we will do it. The data analytics program we are learning, we are not quitting, we will do it. The data science we are studying, we are not quitting, we will do it. The DevOps and cloud, we won't quit, we will do it. Software engineering, full stack web development, we are not quitting, we will do it. Greater Africa will not quit, we will do it. So don't quit, do it. If you can hear me, please put that in the chat for me. Don't quit, do it. This is a strong message to tell you that you have a future ahead of you, that you are on your way to a greater future. You are on your way to doing great things. And so don't quit, do it. Don't quit. Come on, do it. Emmanuel, don't quit, do it. Don't quit, do it. As you come to class every day, you are doing it. Let's keep learning. Let's keep learning. Let's keep learning. We are going to be here all the time. We are going to keep on learning. We are going to structure our studies. We are going to build the right skills that we need to advance and to be at the top. We are still in module 3 and today is day 9, and so we are ending module 3. Tomorrow we'll begin day 10 and get into module 4. In this module, we have studied a whole lot. Today, we are going to crown our studies with email configurations. Look at what it takes to configure email clients. When we talk about email configurations, it's all about configuring email clients and how tools like Outlook, Apple Mail, and other client software on your devices can be configured to web servers. You have to understand that accessing emails is done in applications we call email clients. Even the webmail is also an email client, but it's a web-based email client. And so we call it webmail. But accessing your mail is not only done through the web. We have software that we use to access emails. The same way your browser is a software that we use to browse the web, We also have software. Their job and their functions is to allow you to connect to an email server. As a matter of fact, if you don't connect them to email servers, you can't use them. A program like Outlook, those who have never studied anything about Outlook, one day they open Outlook and they see strange things. They don't get any idea what Outlook is. Because once you open to Outlook, it is asking you to connect to a server and you have no idea, no clue what it's talking about. And so there are people who have never ever used Outlook before. But in the corporate world, Outlook is widely used. Outlook is one of the tools that is used in industry. And businesses today still rely heavily on emails. Even though individuals use other mediums to communicate, businesses still rely heavily on emails. And so, as tech professionals, we still have a lot of work to do to keep businesses running on emails. It is our job, and we are trained to do it. No one else has the training, we do. And the training you need is to learn how to configure an email client to an email server. That is what we'll look at, and how to introduce third-party email services from Microsoft and Google to your clients. These companies provide amazing solutions that make it easier and more flexible to run business emails. And so that is what we are going to look at. And if you are ready, I'm going to play some short clips. After the short clips, we get right into the lesson. All right, so let me share my screen properly. I'm told you cannot hear. So let me do that for you.
IMAP and POP3. Just what is the difference between Internet Message Access Protocol and Post Office Protocol when it comes to your email? If you want to know about IMAP versus POP3, have I got some information for you. The experts at Brightbox Solutions created Help Desk Premier and know how to answer technical questions of all kinds, like IMAP versus POP3. This video has the scoop. Let's watch.
IMAP stands for Internet Message Access Protocol, and POP stands for Post Office Protocol. Both of these protocols are used for email retrieval purposes. Specifically, they process the transfer of email messages from the server to an email client. The POP email retrieval process goes like this. When you click on the Receive option in your email client, it will connect to your remote email server. It'll retrieve all mail and store it locally as new mail, and it'll also delete those mails from the server. The exception to this is if the email client is configured to keep mail on server, in which case the client will just disconnect. The IMAP email retrieval process goes like this. First, when you click the Receive option, the email client will connect to the remote email server. It then pulls the user-requested content and caches it locally. Then it disconnects from the server. There are several differences between IMAP and POP. The two protocols generally operate on different ports. Essentially, POP is a one-way communication path, whereas IMAP offers two-way synchronization between server and client. POP is sufficient if you're accessing your mail using only one device, such as your PC. IMAP is a protocol of choice if you need to access your email from multiple locations, for example, both from your office workstation and your notebook or tablet. So, what are the pros and cons? The advantages of POP. POP will download emails without leaving copies of them on your server. This keeps the space used on the email server low. The other advantage is that mail is stored locally and is always accessible even without an internet connection. A connection will only be needed when sending and receiving emails. Now, the disadvantages of POP are, since there's no remote server copy, if data is lost from the location where the email was downloaded, no email recovery option will be available and all your email will be gone. If you intend to use a single email account configured with POP, but want to use multiple email clients on multiple devices, some emails will be missed, since there's no synchronization between server and the devices or clients. Now let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of IMAP. IMAP is often preferred in many cases. In the IMAP protocol, emails are stored on the remote server and therefore are accessible from multiple different locations. IMAP can take a little time to download and synchronize emails from some remote servers, but it's a flexible, more reliable, and more complete email retrieval method compared to POP.
Now you know! Next time you have technical questions, find easy answers with us and share us with your friends.
Hi there. In this video, you'll learn what webmail or web-based email is. To learn about email clients, watch the video, What is an email client? All email travels over the internet and is stored on email servers. An email server can belong to a webmail provider like Gmail, an internet service provider like Comcast, or a web hosting provider like GoDaddy. You can think of an email server like the post office, where your mail is collected and stored until it's delivered to you. Webmail and email clients are two ways you can send and receive email. With webmail, your email is stored on your webmail provider's email servers and remain there until you delete it. To read or send email, you connect to the internet and log into a website that provides access to your email account. When you use webmail, you're directly accessing your email on your provider's email servers. Webmail is a powerful tool because it allows you to send and receive email from anywhere in the world using any device as long as you have an internet-connected web browser. Popular webmail service providers include Gmail, Yahoo, and Hotmail. While this incredible ease of access and flexibility makes webmail very appealing, it's important to remember your email messages remain on your provider's email servers, so you must be able to access their website to access your email. If you don't have internet connectivity, or your provider's servers go down, you may not be able to access your mail. Think of webmail like a post office or P.O. box. With a P.O. box, you rent a mailbox at your local post office. The post office collects and keeps your mail safe until you're ready to retrieve it from your P.O. box. However, if the post office is closed, you can't access your P.O. box, and you have to wait until it reopens to retrieve your mail. In addition, some webmail websites may not be able to provide some of the advanced features and functionality you get from using an email client such as Microsoft Outlook or Apple Mail. So, webmail or email client? Not sure which is right for you? Some email solutions like Office 365 email from GoDaddy allow you to enjoy both the freedom of webmail access and the ability to utilize email clients like MS Outlook and Apple Mail. So if you're not sure, you don't have to choose. Hi there. In this video, you'll learn what an email client.
Office 365 is the office you know and Office 365. Office 3.
Hi there. In this video, you'll learn what an email client is. To learn about webmail, watch the video, What is Webmail? All emails travel over the internet and is stored on email servers. An email server can belong to a webmail provider like Gmail, an internet service provider like Comcast, or a web hosting provider like GoDaddy. You can think of an email server like the post office, where your mail is collected and stored until it's delivered to you. Webmail and email clients are two ways you can send and receive email. An email client is a software program you install on your computer that allows you to interact with an email server. To send or receive new email, an email client must be connected to the internet and configured to access your service provider's email servers. The email client retrieves your mail from your provider's servers and downloads it to your computer's hard drive. Once the client has retrieved your email, you can read it at your convenience and continue to access it, even when you're not online. Popular email clients include Microsoft Outlook, Apple Mail, and Mozilla Thunderbird. Think of an email client like your postal carrier. Every day, your carrier retrieves your mail from the post office and brings it directly to your home or business, so you can view it whenever it's convenient for you. Your mail stays with you until you throw it away. By storing emails locally, as opposed to on the servers at a webmails provider, an email client ensures you always have access to the messages you've received. Local storage also means you control the backup of all your messages, contacts, and folders. With local storage, you can easily move your email to another provider or encrypt messages and store them wherever you choose. If you're using your email account for a business, an email client may offer more advanced mailbox management functionality than that of a webmail website. Many email clients offer features such as flags, categories, folders, and filters that can help business owners organize and prioritize their busy inboxes. However, email clients are not without their own challenges. An email client must be configured to work with your provider's email servers. While configuration is not a difficult task, an email client must be configured on every device you want to use. In a multi-device world, some may find this is a tedious task. So, webmail or email client? Which is for you? Solutions such as Office 365 Email from GoDaddy offer the freedom of webmail access and the ability to utilize email clients like MS Outlook and Apple Mail. So don't choose, use both.
All right. So don't choose, use both. This video provides extra clarity on the use of email clients and webmail. From this video, it has been very clear that if you use webmail, it's like deciding to connect to your email service provider's email server through a web interface. And so you access all your mails over their servers. So your mails are always on their servers. And through a web application, you access your emails. With webmail, there is no intention to download the mails, but all the mails are kept on the email servers until you choose to delete them. People have kept their Gmail account for 20 years, and they still have their emails from 20 years ago. This means as they access their emails with the webmail, their emails will always stay on the servers of the email provider, and they can access them anytime they want with a web browser. We also have a tool called an email client. An email client is a software application installed on your computer. With a software application, you can configure it to an email server. And the intention is not to read the mail over the server like what webmail does for you. The intention is to move the mail to the local PC so that you access the mail on your PC even without an internet connection. That idea explains the two concepts of using webmail and email clients. The purpose of email clients is to allow you to have your mails right on your machine, as opposed to accessing it over the email server. To have your mail on your machine, you need a mail retrieval protocol. So you can choose either IMAP or POP3 to do that. Whichever one you want to use, you go ahead and you choose it. POP3 is very popular. Today, POP3 allows you to set a feature that still leaves the message on the server if you choose to, and delete them whenever you want to delete them. And so with that feature, more and more people are using POP3 in their email clients. For the webmail, it is connected to it like how IMAP works. And so whatever you do through webmail is automatically synchronized and updated. Today, we want to learn how to use an email client to connect to an email server. And we have an assignment for us to practice what we are learning. Yesterday, we created an email on one of the domains called info@thedomain.com. Your assignment is to log on to your cPanel and create your first email. The email should be info@yourdomain.com. After you create that email, you are supposed to use that same email to send an email to info@raterafrica.com. After you send the email to info@raterafrica.com, we want you to set up your info email in your Microsoft Outlook. So you are going to go through the configuration settings and set up your Microsoft Outlook to connect to your email, info@yourdomain.com. Tomorrow, we will allow you to show what you have done. At every stage of this training, there are some practical skills that are required of us. And so in this particular module, this is what you are expected to do. Create an email, send an email with it, and configure your email client. To configure your email client, there are some details that you need. Without those details, you cannot do your configuration. The details you need are as follows. Number one, you need what is called the incoming mail server address. You are supposed to ask your server to provide you with the incoming mail server address. Without the incoming mail server address, you are not going to be able to do the configuration. This means every time the details need to be given to you. The same way on a server, you are supposed to receive what is called the name server information. You are also supposed to receive the incoming mail server address. Once you have the incoming mail server address, you can use it to connect to Outlook. Outlook is an interesting and a very powerful email client software. Apple Mail is another one. And there are several others that you can find on your mobile apps that allow you to connect to any email server. Outlook is so good that it can connect to any email server in the world. If only you know how to do it. To do the configuration, apart from the incoming mail server address, you also need what is called the outgoing mail server address. It's an address that needs to be given to you. You also need to get the SMTP port number and the POP or IMAP port number. So with the port numbers, you are able to complete your configuration. If you want to use POP, you need a POP port numbers. If you want to use IMAP, you need the IMAP port numbers. Once you have those details, also ensure that you are connecting to them over SSL or TLS. And so the port numbers you receive must be the SSL versions. All right. So the goal of our training tonight is to look at how we do the configuration. So I mentioned to you that to do your configuration, you need some details. With these details, you'll be able to do the configuration. So the first question is, where do you get these details? These details are provided by your server. Every email server needs to provide those details. Okay, every email server needs to provide those details. It is also important to understand that Outlook is not only connected to business emails. Outlook can also be connected to a Gmail account, can be connected to a Yahoo account, can be connected to Office 365, can be connected to Google Workspace, can be connected to any email server that exists in the world. You can connect your email clients too. So let's see how we can connect Outlook to an email client. The first thing is to go and look for the details. And so if you log on to the cPanel, you will find the details over there. Yesterday, we logged on to one email, and within that email, we saw the details right there in the email. Let me open to this and show you how you can find your details. Once you log on to your cPanel, you'll be able to find the details we are talking about. If you click on email accounts in your cPanel, the moment it loads, you can select any email you want to work with and click on connected devices. The moment you click here, you are going to be given what is called the mail client configuration scripts. But these scripts are auto scripts. So with this auto script, they can help you do your configurations automatically. But that is not the point of this particular lecture. This training is to help you do your configuration manually. And to do your configuration, you need those details. So over here on this screen, we can see the details we are talking about right here. The details we are talking about, you can see here that you are being provided with an incoming server. Let me show you the incoming server of this particular server. Again, every server needs to provide these details to you. You are not going to imagine or guess or assume them to be what you want. You have to request for them from the server. So I've showed you exactly where to find it. The incoming server address for this server, this is it. So whatever they give you, that is what you use. The outgoing server address, this is it over here. The outgoing server, we know that it works with SMTP. And this is the SMTP port number over SSL. This means that the settings you are given here are the secure settings. So if you look up here, you can see that this is the secure SSL TLS settings. And it is recommended to use the secure settings. This server can also provide you with the non-secure settings. The non-secure settings will also give you access to the server, to the email server. But these settings are not secure. And so you can see that the port numbers we are using here, they are non-SSL port numbers. And this is how the incoming server looks like. It can be mail.thedomain.com or .com.ng. This can also be this. But then whatever the server gives you, that is what you use. And it is recommended to use the secure one, not the not recommended version, which is the non-SSL version. So always use that and you'll be able to do your connection. You also need a username and password, which are the email addresses and the password. With these settings, this email server that comes with this hosting account can be configured. Already, we have talked about this over and over, that your hosting account or your hosting server is also an email server. And right here, you are being given the details to work with that server. This is not connection to the database server. This is connection to the email server. With the email client and your ability to configure, you can connect the email client to this using these settings. So the email client we'll be using is Outlook. Outlook is the world's #1 email client. It is interesting that Microsoft has done so well that Microsoft's word processor is the best word processor in the world. Microsoft Word. Microsoft's spreadsheet program is a leading spreadsheet program and has been the leading spreadsheet program ever since it became popular. Before Excel came to take over the spreadsheet industry, we had a popular spreadsheet called Lotus 123. When Excel came, Lotus 123 was discontinued because it couldn't compete with Excel. Everyone was using Excel. When it comes to presentation, Microsoft's presentation tool, PowerPoint, is a leading presentation tool. They have taken over the market so much so that when people think of word processing, instead of them understanding that this is word processing, they only know Microsoft Word. And so the term word processing is even lost. And people don't even have that understanding anymore. When it comes to database management, Microsoft Access is a powerful and a leading database management tool, Microsoft Access. So Microsoft has been a leader in creating leading productivity tool. When it comes to email clients, Microsoft Outlook is definitely the world's #1. So let's open to Microsoft Outlook and see what we can do with it. The first time you open to Outlook on your computer, you'll be asked to connect it to a server. So you can go to File, go to Account Settings, or before that, just go to Add Account. When you go to Add Account, you are going to see this pop-up here that will allow you to enter your details to connect Outlook to your server. Yesterday, I gave you an example that when you buy a new phone, there is already an email client on it. But the fact that there's an email app on the phone does not mean that the app has your mails. Just like Outlook. The fact that Outlook is on your PC does not mean that Outlook has your mail. Outlook is designed to keep mails or to allow people to use their mails. And before you can use your email, you have to connect your Outlook to an email server. Outlook is so popular that the most popular email servers have been designed to connect automatically. With those ones, you can just enter your email address. If it is Gmail, you can just type your email address and password, and the rest of the work will be done behind the scenes automatically for you. If you are connected to Microsoft 365, you can just enter your email address and password, and the rest will be done for you. But when you are connecting to a new company server, you may not get that chance. Today, Windows 11 and the latest versions of Outlook makes it easy. This morning, we didn't struggle connecting. The moment we entered the email address and password, it's looked for the script, the settings, and did it automatically. And it was too easy for my liking. I just realized that the older versions of Outlook, if you are not using the latest version of Outlook, probably like what I'm using, you are not going to get it that way. And it's very, very important to understand that you are not always going to get it that way. And you shouldn't expect it that way, especially when you are being trained for it. And so knowing how to configure an email client manually is the skill we are talking about. You need to have that understanding because a time will come you may be faced with this situation to connect an email client to an email server. You will have to use the incoming server address, outgoing server address, the SMTP for 3 IMAP port numbers to do your connection. All right. So what we are going to do is this. We are going to connect Outlook to a company email. I also told you that Outlook can connect to any email server in the world, including Gmail. Wait a minute. So if I want to connect to Gmail and it is not connecting automatically, then what do I do? With Gmail, what it means is that I need to connect to it manually if the automatic version doesn't work. This means that to even connect to Gmail, you also require the same details. I told you how you get the details. I told you that it will be given to you. So when it comes to Gmail, let's go to Gmail and see how Gmail will provide the details to us. If you are using Gmail, all you have to do is to search online and say Gmail. Then you decide IMAP or POP. Maybe IMAP configuration settings. Once you type that, it will search the web and try and find them for you. I've seen a link here. When I click on it, hopefully I'm going to see the settings. We have the settings here. You can see right here that the incoming server, because we selected IMAP, is called an IMAP server. So the IMAP server of Gmail is this. This is the IMAP server address. I told you that you'll be given an address. The IMAP server address is called imap.gmail.com. As a tech person, you cannot miss these details. Even though a lot of things are done automatically, you cannot miss the actual technical skills you need. You need to understand that even Gmail has their configuration settings. So this is their IMAP address or their incoming server address. If you come here, you can see their SMTP server. And when we say SMTP server, what are we talking about? Who can tell me what we are talking about? Today, I feel like I'm just talking to myself. When we say SMTP server, who can tell me what we are talking about? When we say SMTP server, what are we talking about? I'm waiting for someone to type in the chat that we are talking about the outgoing server. Thank you, Solomon. So the outgoing server also has an address. The outgoing server address of Gmail is smtp.gmail.com. They have their port number over SSL 465. Of course, you need to provide your username and password, which is your email and password. They have their IMAP port number over SSL. And with this, you can do your configuration. What if I want to connect over POP? I will still go and look for it. So I'll say Gmail POP configuration settings. The moment I type it, I'll be able to find it somewhere. I don't know, but I'll keep searching until I find it because it is supposed to be given. Because Gmail is a public mail service, I can search publicly for it. But if you are connecting for a company, you need to get the company's cPanel to find these details. So from Google themselves, they have given me the details. I'm on Google's website. They've given me the incoming server, also called the POP server. Because I chose POP, they are calling it a POP server. So it is pop.gmail.com. Over SSL, port number is 995. Outgoing server over SSL, yes. If you get TLS, TLS is becoming more popular than SSL. If you get TLS2, if it's available, you select. Also, always look for requires authentication and set it to yes. And if it is TLS, the port number is not 465, it's 587. If it's SSL, it's 465. With these settings, you can do your connections when you provide your email address and password. Now, it is also important to understand that when it comes to Gmail, Gmail has certain requirements before you can connect to. Gmail has certain requirements before you can connect to their server using an email client, especially one that doesn't belong to them. Sometimes they have some strict security requirements, and if the email client you are connecting to their server is not known, they may restrict the connection until certain things are done. Whether they restrict the connection or not, there is one particular setting that is required. Let me open to my Gmail and show you this setting I'm talking about. When you click on settings here, you can go to all settings. Once you open to all settings, you will see something up here. And over here, I can see forwarding and POP or IMAP. So over here, this forwarding and POP or IMAP, you can click on it. All right. So this email is one email that we use from time to time. And you can see that if we decide to connect this to, if we decide to connect this to IMAP or POP, you can see something here that says POP download. And over here, you can see that POP is disabled. If you want to do this connection for POP, you need to enable it. Then you go down and save. If you scroll down, you can see that IMAP is also disabled. So you need to enable IMAP and save. All right. So the person who uses this particular address, if they want to connect this to their Outlook, they need to do these settings before it works. I have my Outlook with my email already. So once you do these things, you'll be able to set it. And if there are extra security settings, you can look for that in Gmail. Sometimes Gmail restrict third-party tools from connecting. So there's something called allow less secure apps. So if you are facing that situation, you can look for allow less secure apps and enable them. The whole point of this is to let you know that there are some settings that we use to connect to email clients. And Outlook allows us to find the settings from the server we want to connect to and do the connection. Yesterday, we saw these details in the email that we logged into yesterday. You saw that when we connected to an email, That email had a first email sent automatically with those details. I'm sure you remember that from yesterday's class. Let me open to Outlook again, and let's continue with the configuration. All right. So let's assume you create an email address in your cPanel. So in your cPanel, you go ahead and you create an email address. Yesterday, we created an email address with Solomon's account, info@midi.com.ng. And we sent some emails to it. I don't remember the password, so for the purpose of the configuration, let's reset the password and use it. After today, Solomon can reset the password again and use it. So over here, we can go to manage, and this is the email. Oh, that's not your account. So what is your account, Solomon? And set a new password. midi.com.ng. Who has this domain? All right, so let's generate a password here. And the password, you can keep generating till you find one that you like. There's no rule to the one you like. You just have to choose or settle on the one you like. Then you update. So what I've just done, oh, okay. So whose email is this? Whose domain is this? I thought it was for Solomon. All right. So we have just gotten the password for info@midi.com.ng. Let's go to Google now, sorry, Outlook now, and see how we can continue the configuration. Everything I've talked about so far is to bring us to this point where we do the configuration. So the email we want to connect to is info@midi.com.ng. Now, I told you that for the latest version of Outlook, they have pre-configured a lot of things, and so it is very easy. .ng, sorry. So once you click next, you may be asked to provide a password, and that's it. That is done to give a higher level of abstraction for non-tech people. For tech people, especially in training, you need to know what happens in the low level, okay? So I'm going to click on advanced options and tell Outlook that I want to do this manually. So once I click here, I'm telling Outlook that let me set up my account manually. Let me do that myself. Even with a manual setup, they will still try to help. I'm not okay with how they are trying to help. But with older versions of Outlook, we have those issues. And if anybody is having a challenge, you can share your screen and we will all go through the process and see how to fix yours, because this can also be a stressful thing if you don't do it right. Now, even though I went to manual setup, you can see that they have brought me to a place where I can choose whether I'm connecting to Microsoft 365, to Outlook.com, Exchange, or Gmail or Google. Without selecting manual, they will detect this automatically by the domain name. But when I entered it, they are allowing me to choose. And I like the fact that they are considering these two options, because these two options are the keys to you connecting to any other email server that is not listed among the ones here. These ones are popular ones, and so it is very easy to get a configuration done automatically. But with these ones, these are the ones we are talking about. So I'll click on pop, and they will ask me for my password. So I will provide it. Now, the moment I provide it, they are going to try and help me do it automatically. And I'm not really comfortable with that help. Let me click on Not You and see what we will find here. It will bring me back. So let's click Next again. Click on Pop again. Enter the password again, and then connect. By doing this, you will see that they will try and do it for you. So what is happening now? They are trying to do the connection for you. They are asking you, do you want to use this server? It's not secure. So they have found the settings, but they have found the non-secure settings. So if I say yes, they should go ahead, you realize that they will use the non-secure settings to do the incoming connection and the outgoing connection. And the account has been added successfully. Done. This is too easy for my liking, and I don't like this at all because we have not learned much. As for entering email address, choosing POP, entering password is not anything difficult. Every non-tech person can do that. But I am talking about we going through the process of configuring all those things by ourselves. So to fix that, now when you click on inbox, you will see that they will start loading your inbox for you. You'll start loading your inbox here for you because they've actually connected to the server now. All right. We connected to it in the morning, so you can see that inside the inbox, you are going to see the emails already in. And yesterday, they sent an email automatically that I showed you, and you can see that it has the settings we are talking about. These are the settings we are interested in, and we want to do this ourselves. And here you realize that these are the secure settings. These are the secure settings. So how can we use these secure settings? When you go to File and you go to Account Settings and you go to Server Settings, you can see that, okay, they are giving us the chance to do more. So now they are showing us the incoming mail and they are allowing us to put the incoming mail server here. So because these are the non-secure settings, I want us to find the secure settings and provide them here. Then we have to select that this server requires an encrypted connection. Then we select this. By selecting this, it will do it over SSL. So we need to provide the secure settings. Now the secure settings are the ones we saw. We can have it on the cPanel. When you go to connected devices, you can come here and pick the correct incoming server, the secure one. Then, since we are using POP, the port number we are supposed to provide will be 995. So let's go back here and change this to the secure version and enter 995 here. These are things you should have experience in. If you've never done this before, it's a problem. And so I'll be happy if your Outlook is not the latest version like mine, so that it gives you a lot of errors. I'm praying for you to get errors so that you can do it the hard way, because you're supposed to learn it the hard way, actually. Let's go to the outgoing server and collect the server address. Sometimes it is the same as the incoming server address, but whatever they give you, you put it there. Then we will use the encryption method SSL. So choose SSL/TLS, and here you can put 465 instead of 587. Over here, to make sure my outgoing SMTP server requires authentication, use same settings as my incoming server. Once you select this, it is very important. Let's click next and see if it will get an error or if it will work. If this works, it means the new settings we provided is correct. The settings are correct and we have done it manually. There's one particular setting I'm still not seeing, except with the older version of Outlook. But I was able to find it this morning when I clicked on account settings. So anytime in your Outlook you want to work on your accounts, you can click on account settings and see your account here. Then you can change or do whatever you need to do here. Let me click on repair. And when I click on repair, I'll see something that I'm actually looking for. Let me repair it manually. Once I click on repair, I'll see something that I want to show you. Now, all these things that I want to show you, they are already in the older version of Outlook. Let me remove the set manually and see what will happen because I didn't see what I'm looking for. But let's see if I'll find it because I found it in the morning. All right, so it did a repair automatically. I'm not looking for that. Let me click on change and see, but I think it's still repair. All right, it's changed. Okay. So watch this. Because I click on change, look at what I'm seeing. This over here is what I was talking about, that POP today allows you to do these settings. Over here, you can select this, leave a copy of the message on the server. Because of this, you can still use POP and the messages will not be deleted. If you want to delete it, you don't have to select it. But if you select it, it will still leave a copy on the server. And here you can give it further instructions that remove it after 14 days. You can change it to 30 days if you want, or any number of days that you want. You can change it to 90 days, or any number of days that you want. Or you can remove this. And what will happen is that it will leave it on the server and will never remove it. So it will always be on the server if you want. So because of this setting, you can use POP and still have your mails on your server. Once I click next and it's updated, I click done and it's done. Let me close and it's done. So what I've taken you through is the process of configuring your email client to your email server. You are supposed to go through the same process, create an email info at your domain, go through the process of configuring it to Outlook, and send an email to info@retailafrica.com. This is the requirement for this module. Tomorrow, we'll be inspecting your work and we will see what you have done because this is very, very important. If you are given a mobile device, you go through the same settings and you use the same details. You have to understand that you need these details to be able to do the connection. And once you have these details, you should be able to do the connection. You may be given a different webmail or a different email client. That is not as easy as Outlook. You may be working with an older version of Outlook that doesn't help you at all. So you still need the low-level knowledge of setting it up manually by yourself. We'll take a short break. After the break, we will zoom in into Microsoft 365 and what is called Google Workspace. So I'm going to see you in 10 minutes time. Thank you. All right. So thank you, everybody, and welcome back from the short break. I'm going to share my screen and we will continue with the second part of this lesson. In this second part, we want to look at third-party business email service providers like Google Workspace and Microsoft 365. It is very important that we get an understanding of those types of services because they are also part of business emails. And they are also becoming more and more modern, and companies are relying on them more and more today. Also, the kind of services they provide are more advanced and secure. And so it is a good idea to recommend those services to your companies and your clients. The only question you will have will be the cost of those services. But then if you can have a reason beyond the cost, then there will be a better solution to business emails than using the email from your own server. Google has been in the email business for more than 2 decades. And there are a lot of things they have done to improve their email delivery services. And so being able to run a business email over Google's platform is an advantage. It's an advantage, a very good one. Ever since Google allowed companies to use their platform for their personal or custom or business emails, companies have flocked to it. I myself, the first time I got the experience of using that, I realized that it is actually better than what your server provides. These businesses provide more and they allow your business to get more features and security than what your server provides. There are several advantages to using those services to what your hosting provider will provide. Your client will be safer and your client will keep their business with you if you give them that experience. I've realized that there are some clients that because they are on that service, they feel more connected to the service that my company is providing them. And I can assure you, I didn't say this in the morning class, that if you get a client hooked onto email, you will keep them longer than providing only website services. This is something I should have told you a long time ago. If you get a client hooked onto email, the client will be more loyal to your business than a client that you only provide website services to. Especially if you can get them hooked onto email from Google or Microsoft, they will remain with you longer than if you provide them with only web design services. Now, the emails of your clients means a lot to them. And they rely on the emails every day. That is the way they communicate with their own customers. So they can't do without the email. Please take note of this. If you can hook your client onto email service, they will remain more loyal to you than you providing them with only web design services. Some clients are not advanced and they are so local that after 2 years or 3 years, they can tell you that they don't really see the benefit of their websites. You may hear that from some people. They will tell you that they have not seen any addition that the website has added to their business. You may find some clients who will unfortunately tell you that. Some will also tell you that their website has made them global, has made them more recognized, has made them more professional, has given them a better corporate image. They understand the value of the website. But some will tell you that the website doesn't do anything for them. But then if your client is on email, there's no client who will tell you that they don't need the email. Because once they are hooked to it, they will use it every day. They will never go back to free domains or free email. They will be on it, and that is what they use to do their communications. So when it's time for them to renew their service with you as a provider, if they don't renew, it means they are losing their email service as well, and they wouldn't want that at all. So they will renew it. So this tells you why it is very important that you understand the business of email. It may be the one reason why you keep your customers. So let's look at the advanced email services that Google provides and Microsoft provides. I've used all of them, and so I can tell you what I know about them. First, let's watch these short clips, and after that, we will get into them.
Gmail account with your own domain and branding. Help with Google Workspace. You can create a Gmail account with your own domain and branding, helping your business look professional in any inbox. That's business email made easy with Google Workspace.
Now, with Google Workspace, your business is hosted on Gmail. You use a Gmail platform to access your business mail. But the beauty is that your email is not at gmail.com. Your email is at your own domain.com. So once you set up on Google Workspace, you have the chance to enjoy all the benefits they provide. After these videos, I'll tell you about Microsoft 365 and also Google Workspace. When Google Workspace started, it started with a brand name called Google Apps. And when Google Apps came, it was free at first. And those of us who got a chance to use it for free were able to connect our domains to Google Apps. And they give you free cloud storage, give you up to 2,000 emails for you to create for your company. and you enjoy all the benefits of Gmail for business. It was amazing. Later on, when they got some customers, they reduced it to 50 emails. And so you could get Google Apps for free, but you could create up to 50 emails. I also benefited from the 50 emails. It was such a treasure to have this system at the time, especially when it was free. I got a chance to experience the 2000 email version, the 50 email version. A time came, they reduced it to 10. And a time came, it was no longer free. It became hard for smaller businesses to use. But then, those who had the older accounts, they still enjoy it up to today, amazingly, for free. But then this is a very long time ago, almost 12 to 13, 14 years. Yeah. So they stopped giving this for free, and anyone who needed to use Google Apps had to pay for it. And the payment goes like this. You pay for every account you set up. So if you have 5 emails for your company, let's say you have a team of 5 and everybody has an email, you pay for everyone. If you have a team of 50 and everybody has an email, you pay for everyone. If you are paying $5, at first you were charging $5 per email per month. So you pay $5 for each email every month. If you have 50 emails, at the end of the month, you pay 50 times $5. Then they brought different packages that you could choose from. Later on, they changed their name from Google Apps to Google Suite. SUITE, Google Suite. So they rebranded to Google Suite, and you could still do the same things on Google Suite. Today, they have rebranded again, and they call it Google Workspace. Microsoft also started this particular service, and they called it Office 365. Let's watch some videos about Office 365, and we'll continue.
Is the Office 365 is the Office you know and love, on the devices you use most, whenever you need it, and virtually wherever you are. Beginning with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook, Office 365 provides all the familiar apps you've come to depend on, along with a dynamic set of cloud-connected tools that help you communicate, collaborate, and get more done. With the flexibility of the cloud, your files are never stuck on your computer at work or your laptop at home. Office 365 lets you share and sync documents virtually anywhere and anytime you're working. Stay nimble and stay in touch. See your team's calendars, know when they're online, send them an instant message, or even communicate face-to-face. Better than that, work on the same document together in real time. You've got Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and the rest of the Office family, all connected by cloud-driven features like co-authoring and video conferencing. Now combine that with automatic updates, a global network of expert support, and a 99.9% uptime guarantee. And what you get is 365 24/7 possibilities. Get it done at office365.com.
What is Office 365? It's an integrated experience of apps and services designed to help you pursue your passion and grow your business. Get apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and more, updated monthly with the latest features and security updates. Use cloud-powered email to reach customers and coworkers wherever work takes you. Collaborate in Microsoft Teams, the new hub for teamwork, where you can chat, organize meetings, and share files. Save files to OneDrive with 1 terabyte of online storage, allowing access across devices and on the go. Run your business with the business apps, empowering you to manage customer scheduling, invoicing, referrals, and more, all from one place. Protect your data with 24/7 security and support backed by Microsoft. With Office 365, you have more time to build your business and achieve even more.
All right. So this tool or this service was called Office 365. Just last year or last 2 years, they rebranded it and they called it Microsoft 365. Today it is called Microsoft 365, not Office 365. And so with Microsoft 365, you have access to a whole lot more than just you have access to a whole lot more than just email. Microsoft 365, the first benefit is that it gives you all the tools that Microsoft provides for business. We've already established that Microsoft is a leader of making business productivity tools. All their tools are the world's best. Can you imagine that? Apart from the popular ones you know, there are some amazing ones out there that you don't know. They have some incredible tools like Sway, Yammer. They have Stream. They have a lot of them, so many. Okay. They have an amazing tool called Teams, which we are using right now for our class. They provide OneDrive and so much more. So Microsoft 365 is Microsoft deciding today that let's put all our services together and allow users to subscribe to them. So if you pay a subscription fee and you have access to everything, not only email, you have the latest version of Office. You know, when it comes to Office, we have the Office suite that is released every 3 years. So you get it and you install it. Then we have the Office 365 or the Microsoft 365 that gives you Office on the go. So if you are using Microsoft 365, you get the latest version of Office every month. You don't have to wait for 3 years to find Office to install. Today, I don't even think about looking for Office to install. Those days, I used to think about finding Office to install on a computer. Today, with Microsoft 365, you always have the latest. So while some people are waiting for 3 years to get, let's say we started from Office 2007, then Office 2010, then Office 2013, then Office 2016, then Office 2019, then Office 2022. Instead of waiting for 3 years, you have Office latest every month, always. That is what Microsoft 365 gives you. The first time I decided to use or to pay for Microsoft 365 was because I lost some serious data that was really, really bad. That day, I went through a whole lot. I mistakenly formatted a drive that contained sensitive data. And from that day, I decided to store my sensitive data in the cloud. So I paid for Microsoft 365, got access to 1 terabyte of cloud space, and kept my files in the cloud. Cloud could be the reason why you connect to Office 365. You get access to the cloud service of Microsoft Azure that comes with this. Maybe email is the reason why you want to use Microsoft 365. You have access to the amazing email service from Microsoft. So at Rita Africa, we don't use our hosting server for our emails. We use Microsoft 365. We get OneDrive, SharePoint, we get email, we get Office, And one reason why we needed this was Microsoft Teams, because with Teams, you can run a remote company to collaborate with your teams every day, organize all your schedules, your calendar, organize all your meetings, and have a real work experience right from different locations. It's amazing what you can do with Microsoft Teams. Apart from that, there are a whole lot of tools that are connected to Teams, a whole lot of tools like Microsoft Forms that allows you to create forms and also quizzes. So sometimes you want to let students take quizzes, you get Microsoft Forms and a whole lot. And all of them come with that same subscription from Microsoft 365. So we are not just using a tool that will just give us video conferencing. No, Microsoft 365 gives you everything together. So it's a very good choice to choose Microsoft 365 for your business. You get a whole lot. You get a whole lot. But then it's expensive. Well, it depends on what you choose. So let's go on to their website and see the packages that they have. So you can go to Microsoft.com or Office.com to access Microsoft 365. On Microsoft.com, you can click on Microsoft 365 and you can get Microsoft 365 as an individual, or you can get Microsoft 365 for your business. As an individual, you can choose the home version here, and you can see the packages they give you. But right now, we are talking business. And so you can choose a business version and see the plans and packages they provide. Once you choose business, you can go to the plans and see. Microsoft 365 gives you different packages with different solutions. With their starter package, you pay about $6. Let's see it. $6 for every user a month. So it is $6 per user per month. You can choose to pay for the whole year or pay monthly. So every month you have a bill. So all your team members, you pay for each one. If you choose a $6 package, it is still loading. If you choose a 6 USD package, you get access to Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, but only on the web. So, and also in mobile. So you get Office, but you get it, you can use it online, like the way Google Sheets works. But then if you want Office to be used in desktop, you can't use this version. With this package, you still get business email. So all your mails can go through Microsoft, which is really good. You also get Teams. You also get cloud, 1 terabyte for everyone. And you get 10 plus additional apps. Microsoft Bookings, Planner, Forms, a whole lot. And you also get Copilot for free. Well, as part of the package. If you want the Office desktop version, you can use the $12 package. So every month you pay for everyone $12. And these are the packages. $22 also gives you extra features. Then they have one that is also $8, 8.5 or $8. So the package you want, you choose, and you get a solution for your whole business. This is a whole business solution, and it is really good. In terms of value, it really gives you value. The only thing is to think about the cost if you are okay with it. But then for value, you will get. I always advise that you choose this. But then this can be very expensive. I'm not talking about this package, but Microsoft 365. But then it can be expensive. So look at how it is, and if you want to use it, you go ahead and use it because it's a better option. It is a better, I'm confirming that. So you can use this for your clients or use it for yourself. It is a better service that you can use to get everything you need to run your business in terms of software. Now, Microsoft allows you to get your first month for free. So you can try it for free. There is an option that can give you an extension of that 1 month to the next month. So that means when your first 1 month expires, there is an option. If you know how to apply for it, you can apply for it in the admin console, or you can call Microsoft support to help you. Apart from all of these, Microsoft gives you access to all their engineers in terms of support. Any single problem you have, you can place a support ticket and somebody will call you and solve it together with you. A knowledgeable person, an experienced person will call you, whatever the problem is, and they will solve it with you. So long as it is from the Microsoft product, they will have time for you and they will solve it with you, even if it will take days or weeks to find solution. They will solve it. So you get support as well. All right. So this is what we want to talk about. Apart from the fact that we can do business, email business, there is a better platform to do this email business. And this platform is also becoming more and more modern and advanced. If your client can afford it, recommend this to them. Even if they decide not to put all their teams on it, but then the way it works, you may want to put all your team members on it. But then even if you decide not to put all your team members on it, 1 or 2 people can be on it, then the rest can connect with their own free email and also their own software. Then probably the key people in the business will use it because this really, really gives you a lot of value. So I will actually recommend this for any business. At least one person should use it. And once you start, you feel like it's not enough. If everybody is on it, it is easier. But then think about the cost. This is not what you pay a month. This is what you pay for every user. So at the end of the month, if there are 5 people, you pay this times 5. If there are 50 people, you pay this times 50. If there are 100 people, you pay this times 100 every month. Well, for a thriving business, this may be nothing. But then for a startup, this may be quite expensive to keep. All right. So this is what I want to introduce to you. It is a solution and it's fantastic. And you can go in for it. Google also provides the same thing. You go to workspace.google.com, go to plans and pricing, and you also enjoy from Google. Google also gives you access to these tools. So you can choose what you want, either Google or Microsoft. You decide. So look at the packages from Google, also per user per month, the storage they give, and everything. You decide. As for email, I would say they are both good. But for the kind of work I do, I will go for Microsoft 365. And I'm already using Microsoft 365. And I'll choose Microsoft 365 any day. Google was my first experience and it was amazing. Google does a lot, but I'll still go for Microsoft 365. I'm not promoting Microsoft 365. I'm just telling you what I will choose. You are free to choose what you want, but this is a better solution. If your clients can afford it, you can give it to them. If you can afford it, you can start using it. And if you don't want to use this, you can start with a free email from your hosting account, because your hosting account gives you email unlimited for free for everyone. So long as you are paying for your hosting, you are not paying a dime for email. So you have websites and email. For Microsoft 365, you have cloud storage. I was going to read it. With Microsoft 365, you have email and calendaring. You have collaboration tools like Teams, OneDrive, SharePoint, and a whole lot of tools in the Microsoft ecosystem. You also have advanced security. You have cloud storage, compliance, and a whole lot. From my experience, customers have been more hooked to Microsoft and Google third-party email service than the service from the server, In terms of security, these systems give more security. You know, when a company is letting somebody host their website for them, okay, let's say they find some 2x4 designer. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the 2x4 designers to build their website for them. And this means that that person is controlling their server and their emails. And so something happened, they are not finding the person. And 2 years down the line, they need to reach the person. They are not reaching the person. They can't even pay for renewal. And now they need to get someone else to handle their website for them. If they are relying on that email, it means they may lose that domain name and may have to pick a new domain name, or they may lose all their emails and their data. They have to start again. So it can be frustrating because they are dealing with smaller companies or people who cannot give them long-lasting services. With the Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace, that peace of mind is there. Apart from the fact that the tools are familiar, are more advanced, are more secured, the security of knowing that your data is safe and you don't have to worry about, I can't find this guy, those things, they are all cut off. So for your clients will get a lot of peace of mind when they use this service. Again, if you keep your client, if you provide business email services to your client, you'll keep your clients longer than providing only websites. Trust me, this is a fact, because they use their emails every day. They depend on their mails for collaborations and for their business. They are waiting for emails from their customers. And if the email is not working, they can't operate. If a website is not working, some people actually don't care. But if the email is not working, they can't operate. So they will contact you. Now that we've learned how to do the configuration and how to find the server settings, you can use those settings to configure any email client to any email server. The assignment is to create your info mail and configure it with Outlook, specifically Outlook, and send an email to info@retailafrica.com. Tomorrow, you will show us your Outlook and how you did your configuration. And if you couldn't present your website, tomorrow you have the chance to do that. Again, at every stage of the training, there are some practical requirements that we have to meet, and there are some practical skills that we need to apply. So here we are doing this. It is extremely important that you do this. You will meet this again in future. You will meet this again. That I can assure you. So this is a time to build that experience. So I'm going to wrap up and end here. And thank you very much for going through Module 1, Module 2, Module 3. Tomorrow, God willing, if everything goes well, we can start Module 4. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the lesson. That's where we bring our session to a close. And you're reminded of the assignment. You're supposed to create an email at the cPanel using your domain name or your company name, info at your company name or your domain name.com. And then you send that mail to info@retaafrica.com. And then the second assignment is to configure the mail using Microsoft Outlook 365 as well. Okay. And for those, we are still reminded to watch the hardware videos and lessons because next week there will be exams on that. So please take note of that. We'll meet tomorrow to continue and wrap up for the week. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.